obvious answer is we can't levy the taxes, we can't pay the city's ongoing obligations, which would be very detrimental to many things in the city.
To the church, especially putting out the pottery.
Right. And we can't keep it how it is because there's a rollback, right? So
That is correct. Now, again,
beside that,
the heavy rollback and proposal here to the legislations that were approved in the 90s and maybe early 2000. But basically what happens is we have to roll back, and we can't do a roll forward because it just is not allowed. The only way we could go back to because I believe the original charter rate was 9.5 mils. We can't go back to that amount unless we have the vote of the people to do a heavy override. So again, these heavy rollbacks are permanent, and it was very noticeable during the Great Recession. A lot of values went way down, and the cities weren't allowed to roll up the millage rates to keep their money. So a lot of communities asked for that override at that time. We did it, but a lot of communities didn't.
thanks, I just wanted to explain that so that way when I get emails and calls, I can go back and refer to this conversation.
Is there any further discussion with Jason this evening? If not, a discussion of the date to potentially postpone this to. Heard from different individuals, some will be out of town on pretty much all days except either April 22nd or May 1st. So to have a quorum or to have a full 6 members, we had talked about during the study of the budget to go with May 1st, although any hiccup in that process, and we may not be able to meet our charter obligations. So my understanding would be the 22nd would meet the requirements. That is why we're not doing the full hearing in this meeting. So if that there would need to be.
Sure,
Sorry, go right ahead.
So was someone not available on the 22nd?
I cannot do the 22nd.
Who was not available on the 23rd?
I'm not available on the 23rd, and I had that scheduled prior to us discussing this. I will be out of town. There's no way I can adjust that. I would, Chairman.
Yes.
I would ask, I mean, if any way that people can adjust if possible. I'm not trying to make this a mean thing, but I know I serve on, I think, the majority of the commissions outside of council that consistently adjust in the schedule for meetings on council with TIFA, Brownfield, EDA, Recreation Commission. So I'm asking, like I said, I have an important item scheduled 23rd to 27th that was scheduled prior to this discussion of the 3-week obligation, and we're flexible in the dates if possible.
Chairman?
Councilwoman.
So we did talk about a Saturday or a Sunday, I forgot. I think, I thought that we shouldn't because then it makes us look like we're trying to hide something, which we're not. We're just trying to accommodate everyone's schedule. I think it's important for everyone to be able to vote on the budget. It's our main job. So I think that if we ever exclude someone, by a majority vote would not be a good plan. I just don't think that that's.
Chair, for me, I would suggest postponing it until April 22nd, when the public hearing will continue, and maybe a vote on the budget that night. If not, then at that time, the motion would be postponed again until May 1st.
Well, is there one conflict on the 29th and one conflict on the 30th?
One conflict on the 22nd.
Right, yeah. We covered, I believe, 22nd through the 27th. The 28th appears to be open, but that's a Sunday, which then means either 29th, 30th, or 1st.
So,
So
on why all Mondays are out. I mean, up until, I know we changed the rules, so, but I think everybody ran when they were,
Well, go ahead, Councilman.
yeah, I just, again, asking for flexibility if people can move. I feel like I've moved many a time, adjusted the schedule again. Had I known the 3 weeks, I would have made other arrangements, but, this isn't something that can be moved.
Chairman,
Councilman,
I don't think, is it even legal to have a public hearing on a Sunday? Probably no. I would think that it wouldn't be legal.
I want to give notice.
I don't know.
as long as proper notice is given, and we've
I mean, our charter.
we passed the budget, I think, 2 years ago on Saturday or so.
But it wasn't a public hearing for the subject, so, right?
Chairman, I mean, technically, we're having a public hearing tonight as well, so we're actually giving 2 opportunities. So I don't think having it on Sunday, people, this was the one that was advertised, if there's people here that want to speak on these items, they certainly have the ability to do so tonight. So I think doing it on Sunday isn't, as long as Corporation Council says there's not an issue, I wouldn't think there would be an issue. I know it's not preferred, but if that's the day that everyone's available and nobody can move items, then that might make sense, but holding May 1st as a placeholder as well, is the date.
Chairman?
Councilman,
Yeah, I wasn't sure about the Sunday thing, that's why I was asking, it just dawned on me, that maybe it might be. So it sounds to me like we need to do it on Sunday, so we can let everybody be there, because I don't see any other way.
all right.
You guys?
Sure. Chairman, just one question to the clerk. Is there any notice requirements or anything that becomes problematic for you? Is there anything you have to do? Oh. Just making sure.
Certainly would have plenty of time to notify, notification in our website, within the same general area that our agendas and minutes are held, as well as in a place that is accessible to the public, such as the door. So certainly have more than, the bare minimum of calling a special election. So ultimately, people would have it posted tomorrow, 11 days notification.
Chairman?
Councilman?
I wondered if are we allowed to post the 20, what is that? The Sunday?
28th.
28th and the 1st